eternity. So they feared God truly, not in a what's the word? Like an abuse victim. They feared God because that's the beginning.
It's like fear of disappointment, yeah.
Well, that if you fear something, you will look into it for sure, and know that you're on the right side of it.
So, Kate, you know your grandparents' generation. What do you think the cause was that led to the degradation?
I think the 1960s for sure.
I was about to say that. It's the sexual revolution.
I think that was part of an agenda, though. I don't go as far as like tinfoil hat and deep state and all of that, but for sure, with the advancement of the contraceptive pill, women became empowered to break the commandments even more.
The breakdown of marriage.
Yes, so so even just the dishonouring of the covenant of marriage,
yeah.
The ease with which you could purchase or obtain a divorce, the bastardy rates, I suppose you could put, like how many children were born outside of wedlock.
And it became glamorized.
Yeah, and because film stars were off having extramarital affairs, and so many of the commandments, just in that 2 sentences I said, have already been broken. And if people can break the commandments without knowing what they're doing, they can't repent.
Yeah.
And if they can't repent, they can't earn, from a Christian perspective, they can't earn salvation.
Okay, but Kate, don't you think, and I've spoken about this before, that...
And it became fuddy-duddy,
yeah,
sorry,
sure.
I just remembered, it became an old man's religion. Or,
yeah.
To slander the church was... just de rigueur. It was kind of like trendy to look at older people, especially pre-50s. So at the end of the war, people were so jubilant in their victory that they lost sight of what they're fighting for. They weren't concerned with necessarily their families, but in collectively overcoming the trauma that the country suffered and the propaganda that we were submitted.
But don't you think, Kay, a reason for this is the liberal Christians?
Oh,
because
just liberals.
Yeah,
in general.
but I'll say liberal Christian for this reason, because recently there was the Netflix film that was mocking Jesus.
Yeah, I cancelled.
Yeah, and about 30 years ago is the life of Brian.
That was about 50 years ago, or it was the 70s, and I remember recently watching it. So the difference, I believe, so me as a Christian, I think the life of Brian is hilarious.
No, but don't you think that's the problem?
No, I think that Monty Python are hilarious, and therefore there's...
But
let me tell you, so I watched a cardinal or a reverend, I can't remember his name, doing an interview, and he was quite adamant that, this is a slippery slope and it's the beginning of... But the fact is that Christ wasn't mocked in that film. So in Netflix, the difference for me when I cancelled that subscription is that it's literally Christ. The disciples are literally alcoholic. Christ is literally having an affair with Satan or whatever nonsense it was. And I don't think Christmas, for sure, is the time to release that bag of hot mess and to be charged $11.99 a month and to have them take money out of my account, by the way, without my permission. So the difference is that one is mocking religion and mainly Judaism. So I was surprised that more Jews didn't get up and say, whereas... Yeah, I think that the true message of Christ wasn't lost within that film, where there were still some morals that can be admittedly wrenched from it. But the one with the gay Jesus is just inflammatory. And if it was Muhammad, there would have been absolute riots,
but don't you think
murders.
One of the causes of this, that the Netflix film is liberal Christians?
Liberalism, I would say.
I'll tell you what I mean by liberal
Christians.
Yeah, cultural Christians. Fair enough.
Yes.
The reason this is the case is because I've spoken to Christians about this, and I've said, why do you guys not defend your faith like the North American Christians? Because I consider European Christians and North American Christians totally distinct. North America, you can't mock Christianity, but in Europe it's fun.
Like the Bible Belt and those kind of areas.
And I don't think that's a negative thing. No. I think, for example, like Trump, right?
Would you suggest that, I would suggest that potentially your personal view on religion, I'm guessing you're a Muslim, would...
Good guess.
It's the beard that gave you away.
Oh, it's the beard.
That would enable you to view a more staunch defence of faith as a good thing. So I would suggest that murders, riots, violence of any kind is not an acceptable way to defend God, because God is all-powerful.
Yeah, but I don't want the Christians to do that. I don't want Muslims to do that.
Would you say that your admiration of Northern America rather than, as opposed to Europeans who just go, oh, well, it's a gay Jesus, get over it. Like, would you say that your admiration for that stance is rooted in your own religion?
Yes. The reason I would say that is, for example, is that we believe, and in the Quran it says, the closest to the believers are the Christians. Now, Islamic scholars speak about this because the closest to us theologically are Jews, not Christians. But
Dietary and legalistically.
Theologically, in terms of God's unity. However, why does the Quran say the closest to the Muslims are Christians? It's because in affinity. Now, what I find is that
Warwicker maybe had an influence on.
Sorry?
Warwicker.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know your history.
Yeah, I'm a polemicist.
Yes, so you know. So, what it is that when you have a faith which is everything which is sacred becomes unsacred by mocking. Psychologically, something happens in your brain is devalued.
Well, you become defiled in and of yourself. So Christ said, so going back to the dietary quickly, Christ said nothing that enters the mouth can defile a man because it just passes out again into the void, whereas what comes from the heart and leaves the mouth can for sure defile you. So blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, dishonouring your parents, lying, it says that lying lips are an abomination unto the Lord.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that even if you hear a mocking of your own religion, you hear the kind of negative tone of voice, and you say nothing, I think it's equatable at least with saying the same thing.
It's
so
consent.
If you ignore sin, you become a partaker in that sin, because if I know of a murder and I don't do the right thing, whatever that may be, I'm also an accomplice now, or even just morally.
I totally agree with that.
Allowing people to mock. My only problem is that I believe that the vehement defence of Muhammad is shirk, in that if you leave Islam, you can be given a grace period of a few days. You can be, an imam can come and talk to you and make sure you're not mentally, whatever they do, like try and bring you back to the faith. Whereas if you slander Muhammad, you can be eligible for immediate retribution. Therefore, I would say that suggests, if not equality, some, like just in the hierarchy of retributional acts, I would say that that's a little bit off. Although I don't believe in apostasy punishment. I think that you should pray for people. If you genuinely think that you know the way to God and you have it in your heart, you must pray for the soul of anybody who leaves their long-held belief, because only God can change their heart. You can change their ears, you can talk them to death maybe, but then you'll be hastening their way to hell because they might not be on the right path. So you've got to live. That's my problem with violence. And so in 1 Timothy, we're told to defend the hope that is within us, to destroy. Another book talks about destroy all false arguments that set themselves up against the true nature of God. But it doesn't say, and then give them a slap, and then follow them home, and then, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just verbally, we tear down those false arguments.
When we were speaking about earlier about Christianity and its values going down and all of this, don't you think when it comes to pastors in this country, I'm not sure what type of Christian you are, but
the kind who believes Christ died for my sins. And
no, but as in Pentecostal or Catholic or whatever.
The kind that I said.
Okay, so what I find amongst the clergy here is they will do everything possible. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They'll do everything possible to try and shoehorn Christianity within a liberal framework. So, for example,
and religious councils and the merging. So
there's like a disco church in London.
Don't worry about that. The Pope is talking about merging Christianity and Islam, Chrislam, and I'm not joking.
I never heard of that.
Because the resurrection either happened or it didn't. The crucifixion either happened or it didn't. There's no matrix.
And you have to be honest about it. No, just because you want, like the Pope wants peace or whatever, you have to say.
He also considered gay priests and married priests in a certain.
I thought they were against that, aren't they?
He came down on the side of let's not, but former popes wouldn't even have considered it because it's not part of the heritage of the Catholic Church. It's obviously a Reformation thing to have married clergy.
So, Kate, what do you see in the next 100 years in terms of Europe, in terms of Christianity? Do you think they're going to turn back to Christianity?
I would hope that if the tribulation doesn't start by then, like if the
What do you mean by tribulation? I think tribulation started already. The
no,
breakdown of
because the
society.
no, because the rapture must happen, and the rapture.
The rapture?
Yes. So in Mark, I think it's Mark. He talks about the time of the coming of the Lord. So it says, watch for these signs that two people will be working in the field and one will be taken. Two people will be sleeping and one will be taken. So it's talking about the capturing up of people into heaven. Then it says that the dead in Christ will rise, the tribulations will. I'm not
So that's
eschatology,
yeah.
like ready.
So look, that's eschatology. But why?
This is what I'm saying. So unless the end times manage to insert themselves in between this 100 years that we're talking about, I would pray.
Let's assume
everything continues as it is.
So because the way I see it is right now, society can't go on like this. So if you look at broken homes, on top of broken homes, you're seeing in society now this type of nihilism that Nietzsche spoke about. And eventually, like Douglas Murray argues, is that there has to be like faith or something has to be there. And the way I see it is that we need to start speaking about this more openly. Because when you look at politicians talk about economics. How do you make the state better or this? No one talks about, okay, why is it, and I have never seen a politician do this, why is it that children don't respect their parents? Or why is it that...
I would argue that very recently Trump, in his inauguration speech, he spoke about God. He spoke about...
but do you consider him a proper Christian though?
It's not my job to consider anybody a proper Christian. It's my job to consider people as sinners in need of salvation. If they claim that salvation, then that's God alone who knows that.